I've been singing for years. I mean, it started out with karaoke, and I'm talking about anybody who's been in Terre Haute.
It's odd that striving a given level also implies that you have to conquer major challenges in the road. Famous person Richard Goodall, who is well versed in the concept of conquering great challenges while growing in your career, may sadly die permanently from this most recent setback, yet he was resilient enough to start from nothing and rise to be a well-known musician. But a possible jail sentence might ruin all that work. Richard deserved not to be threatened like this. As we know more about his life, we find the path of a latent talent. Introducing Richard Goodall, a selfless cleaner who happened on AGT's musical stage in 2024. His fervent audition performance of Journey's Don't Stop Believing, including Heidi Klum, who was overjoyed to give him the golden buzzer, particularly delighted judges. Late May saw him start doing live following this amazing event right away. Having around 15 million views and counting, he has been on fire ever since. He never leaves the stage until he wins. Among the viral videos still gaining traction on YouTube and TikTok was Richard's performance video. His story has motivated many individuals, especially those who have gone through comparable events. Another loving moniker for him is Janitor Richard Goodall. Richard's past started in a small Indiana town where he managed to match his passion of singing with his menial profession as a caregiver in spite of many challenges. Though everyone was a fan, his biography is a moving example of conquering adversity and finding one's potential outside of wealth and celebrity. Like other grass to grace stories we have heard, this is the ability of following your dreams despite whatever challenges life may offer. Richard was committed and hardworking, thus few people knew about his hidden ability. For him, music was his unique approach of relating with children, not only a pastime. After Richard's viral performance of Don't Stop Believing to kids, renowned TV personality and producer Howie Mandel spotted his ability to sing for a larger audience. Since he was well known in his area and had a wonderful talent to maintain an audience's attention, he registered for America's Got Talent on TikTok. It was clear that he deserved more respect when he tested out for AGT since he was ready to follow both popularity and his life's desire. Though not as moving as what happened on the 19th season of America's Got Talent, his beginning of his trip has been pleasant. Richard has spent 20 years caring for others, and in a media-only interview, he suggested that he would be performing a classic from one of his preferred bands. But he omitted to include the increasing fan base with the specifics. Years-strong performance of Journey's Don't Stop Believing at the time astounded the judges and other guests. He told Simon the performance was clear-cut, and he couldn't help but exclaim, "You are my hero, Richard," since it was so outstanding. He believes America will welcome you. Understanding he was still a part of the Gen X society, Richard had great expectations for the performance of the songwriter. He continued, saying, "The AGT music crew is fantastic, and he couldn't believe he had reached that dream stage following a demanding and long path. They have also imparted a great deal of knowledge to him and revealed information about him that he was unaware of, including the identity of every lucky and deserving Golden Buzzer recipient this year." Although he acknowledged that other artists were closely watching him, he saw no competition in it. Though I don't see it that way, I guess there's a little target on me since I could win. He discussed in a separate media interview what motivated him to compete on America's Got Talent, his intentions on using the $1 million prize, and the fact that it had garnered a lot of views on YouTube at the time. Should you have asked him, he would have answered, "That's like putting a target on my back." His performances really delighted country music superstar Walker Hayes, who even purchased him a brand new automobile as a unique present. They really wanted to know if he was discovered and how he got to try out for AGT. We will closely review his comments since they address many of the questions of many individuals. Though he hadn't performed for the kids in a long time, he says this path of self-discovery started with a teacher's inquiry that turned his life around. When asked whether he would want to sing in 2022, he answered favorably. God Bless the USA by Singing Lee Greenwood offered Don't Stop Believing as his alternative to his customary Veterans Day song. He asked no more questions just Thursday afternoon after learning the teacher had posted his performance video on TikTok, where it had attracted 100,000 views. The next day, when he was going about his first grade classroom cleaning schedule, a co-worker complimented him for his outstanding work. Usually quiet, Steve Perry started following him on social media, believing everything would be good as long as he was helping him. 1 year or two ago, Ricard had a remarkable encounter when a producer got in touch after his TikTok video went popular. He had trouble responding, and by the weekend there were 1 million views. Well-known people like Steve Perry and Journey noticed it when it hit 3 million. Originally trying AGT at a cattle call in Chicago in 2009, he fell short of moving past the first round. Being expelled so early was somewhat challenging, but with the help and words of encouragement from his loved ones, especially the children and his then-girlfriend Angie Vainan, he decided to keep on searching for fresh chances. Years after his first effort was passed, they kept helping him and boosting his confidence. After his most recent rejection, a top producer called to inquire whether he would be interested in running the show. He was flying to the stage few months ago and totally unprepared for this question. Thrilled since I'd never flown and had never ventured west of Missouri, he answered the producer and bought airline tickets on his phone. Though I had traveled all over the country, I had never given a long road trip to California much thought. East Coast, yet it exactly transpired. People all over the world related to his narrative, and his performances immediately stirred tenacity, love, and hope. His fan base grew drastically since he was sincere and modest, which helped him to develop a deep relationship with the public. His narrative comforted many people since they could identify with his challenges and goals. Richard uses Journey's song to remind everyone that all dreams are feasible and that all we have to do is keep in mind this regardless of background. Work tirelessly to do this. Judges Simon Cowell and Howie Mandel praised Richard's outstanding performance and breadth of emotions, which was noteworthy as it matched Simon's projection of Richard's competitiveness. Richard saw music as more than just a form of expression. His concerts were tales of bravery and optimism, and his path demonstrated how music has the capacity of music to motivate people to act, generate lifelong memories, and unite people. Reading about Richard Goodall's amazing path from janitor to rock star can encourage oneself, since it is obvious that it calls a lot of tenacity and will. It's about having the will to follow one's interests, not only about success. He is more than just a source of inspiration. He's a masterful example of how relentless passion and true will can change everything. His path was so simple that he made it to the Hollywood semifinal and finals. So he opted to finish his Advent venture on America's Got Talent with an amazing performance of the venerable popular song Faithfully. That song became his mantra, hence it seemed like he chose the perfect bookend for this story. During his performance, America's Got Talent judge and gorgeous model Heidi Klum was raving about Richard. She said that everyone is in wonder of him since he's a great example for everybody who wants to follow their aspirations. Veteran comedian and Judge Hoy regularly asserted during the competition that Richard is a terrific role model for everyone striving for their goals, since sincerity always prevails over skill. From AAR in Hollywood, he was charming, gifted, and inspirational. Posters, and Richard is the only person that really springs to me. She added the audience's friendliness is evident, even if they're just observing from a distance, and she really hopes he gets all the accolades he deserves even after leaving AGT. This shows how Richard has really earned the respect of people all throughout the world, and he will always have a significant influence whatever goes on. Richard personally thanked them, saying how much he valued their assistance and how happy he was to be able to bring home, calling it a triumph. Surreal is not even close to capturing his awe at how far he has gone. Following his spectacular trip, he said, "This amazing season has been a wild ride, and now it feels like I'm covered in golden dust." Heidi, one of the amazing judges, said, expressing her happiness for him and suggesting that this would fundamentally change his life. She replied, "Now, he's not just a candidate, he's a hero returning home." Richard fell in love this season, in addition to winning one of Heidi Klum's sought-after golden buzzers. When his pal Ang disclosed his recent marriage during the grand finale, he said it was a mind-blowing event. His most intriguing recent marriage to Ang Richard was also complimented during the performance by Shun, the only original Journey member who claimed he's an even better guy in voice. He felt great satisfaction from being present for him all through the performance. Arnell Pan, Journey's lead vocalist, has thrown down the gauntlet and, requested fans to vote him off of the band forever since he got married shortly following the show's conclusion. He was getting ready to accompany America's Got Talent in September's Howie Mandel, Simon Cowell, Richard Goodall, Heidi Klum, Sofia Vergara, and Terry Crews. Simone Biles, Michael Bay, and many more will be among the star-studded roster fans will be treated to. Following her major victory on AGT, Richard told People magazine that she thinks he simply sang $1 million song and that he intends to briefly resume her caretaker duties at Shoney Rose Middle School. Heidi said in 2024 that given his passion for his career and regular interactions with the children he interacts with, she is sure he would keep following his passions. Heidi is right. We will see what chances present following this. Despite his degree of popularity and influence, his generosity and brilliance are astounding. Though it can be intimidating to go through such a thing alone, Richard was lucky to have someone at his side throughout the America's Got Talent finals as he developed his profession and contacts. Angie and I will choose how to divide the earnings going forward. He intends to buy a decent property, make some investments, and then track their life. At last, he revealed to reporters the reason he chose to perform the Amazing Journey classic faithfully on this momentous day. There were other important things he said as well. I wanted my road to feel complete like a bookend. I kicked things off with Journey, and now I'm wrapping it up with them too, just closing the book on a beautiful chapter, he stated. He chose a song with a secret meaning for one of the audience members, which set off an emotional eruption over the relevance of the song for him and his fiancée. On September 18th, he revealed he and Angie would be married in Pasadena, California. Looking back on his musical career, he said in a May interview with Indie Star how he first got involved in karaoke in the 1990s, how he started singing in neighborhood bars, and how he finally found himself facing radio stations with the support of his first wife, Patty. But everything sadly changed in June 2021 when Patty passed her intense struggle. Within the interview, he said that music was a bridge and that another karaoke night started a new chapter in his life few months after his wife died. Particularly during the lonely days of the COVID-19 epidemic, when everyone felt that everything appeared to stop when you're married for a long period and they die and you have that emptiness there. Cancer was an unspeakable loss that destroyed him. Along with his fresh enthusiasm, Goodall was motivated to begin public singing once a colleague caregiver shared on Facebook that he was heading to a bar carrying karaoke's equipment. Vanan, a decent man, stayed in touch with the residents and closely monitored the Facebook page of the karaoke club from which he regularly performed. His paths collided at last when he was admitted to state on January 1st, 2022. The remaining is historical. Actually, the Terre Haute banded together to assist the couple, creating a thanks to a GoFundMe campaign helping to cover their travel costs. The couple's kindness let her accompany him to his California audition and see his performances. In the quarterfinals, he honored her by staging a poignant rendition of Michael Bolton's How Am I Supposed to Live Without You, which chronicles their trip together. Angie has been a regular visitor on the show since then, usually accompanying him as a featured guest. How different is Richard's incredible trip across America's Got Talent show from his life after it? Month after month, the devoted fans of the show are glued to their seats, waiting for whose incredible talent would land the most sought-after prize every week. As they negotiate this new chapter of their life together, Richard's ability to not only captivate the audience, but also imbues their story with vitality and originality. Everyone, even celebrities, was enthralled with the former janitor's beautiful voice. Many supporters felt he ought to have been voted the top candidate for the season. Furthermore, the judges lavished him with extraordinary compliments, something not usual for the candidates. His performances were a pleasant surprise since he continuously offered the stage something fresh and succulent. Richard's large following rushed to the comments area to express their congrats and happiness as soon as they learned he had won. For Richard's amazing success, the air was alive with celebration and delight. It was clear that his tour touched a lot of people. Each wanted to love and help him. Richard overcame both the electric drone duo Sky and innovative rhythm components, as well as the strong K9 act Ronnie S.A. Though many were happy to see Richard ascend to the throne, the celebrations carried a sad undertones. One admirer found great inspiration in his path from caretaker to multimillionaire. "What an incredible story. We got the good ending so well deserved from the very beginning," said another fan. "My goodness, how amazing, Richard. I'm so proud of you," said still another voice. "I'm absolutely thrilled for you. Congrats." Everyone engaged found it challenging to match the range of emotions reflecting the skill and passion demonstrated during the season. One participant claimed they felt bad as they had voted for Ronnie and Rhythm and wanted them to win. Another rival claims that the most recent season of this outstanding talent competition just finished and that people are happy. Richard's triumph delighted his fans, who would be taken aback to learn that there was a major turnabout. Viewers observed a statement at the end of every America's Got Talent performance that said something like this: "The entire $1 million award is payable as cash compensation." Not unexpectedly, every week spectators were glued to the TV to see the judges' assessments of the candidates. In 2016, Forbes did a fantastic job of streamlining it so that everyone at home may grasp it a little better. Sometimes referred to as the present monetary value, the magazine unearthed some startling information regarding what it actually means for an AGT winner to claim their reward should they choose to accept a lump sum payout. She would only take home. The winner could get either an annuity spread over 40 years or the present cash value of the annuity. Though many of AGT winners have gone on to achieve even more financial success following their time on the show, there is not yet any data to demonstrate the precise sum of money made by them. For example, the 11th champion, Grace VanderWaal, will be featured in Megalopolis' upcoming film. After deducting various taxes, the prize comes out to be almost $300,000. However, if they were to consider it as a yearly payout for almost 40 years, their income would only be about $255,000. Adrian Stower, the 18th season winner, performed with his adorable dog Hurricane at the America's Got Talent Present Superstars event in Las Vegas late last January. Richard's incredible experience on America's Got Talent has led him to quit his work as a janitor in an Indiana middle school. Richard, 55, lately sent his ideas to the US. Richard's personal life was an emotional roller coaster after the death of his first wife in 2021. He's not shy to share about it. He also discussed how receiving that amazing $1 million award may fundamentally alter his life, as well as Angela, his new wife's life. Angela has an intriguing concept for a prospective film on Richard's life and believes Demi Moore would be the perfect tough to portray in a fairy tale romance or maybe a reality show. Like the interesting tales of Paul Potts and Susan Bowe from Britain's Got Talent, he too believes that a documentary or biography would be a better approach to share his story. Angela thinks Demi would have a great awareness of the hardships Richard has gone through to get his present position and would understand everything you have gone through to come to this stage in your life, given the terrible incident she had when a child. There is so much potential in a beautiful film about his life, but for now Richard admits he's not ready to share everything like his really personal stuff with the world. Life has thrown him some good and not so great experiences, and he's still processing it all. Angela continued, Richard's fans might be surprised to learn about the deeper challenges he has overcome that no one has talked about. Richard believes it would be pretty amazing if Zach played him in a movie, but he joked that it would be cool. Richard believes it. Richard thought the other judges and Simon Cowell, the actual genius behind the GT, would help him as he negotiates his job and this fascinating biographical endeavor. Having his full support would mean a lot to me, he said. Apart from wishing to tell his experience to a creative producer so that a movie or documentary may be produced out of it, he appears really delighted about the prospect. I'm up for anything, he says. It sounds like much fun. When Richard mentioned he was considering migrating to a warmer place to leave Indiana, the state where he has millions of votes, he also alluded to a major change that might be on store. He is more than just a role model. His songs and TV series have really transformed people's life. He has really brought the ordinary individual up and center. Believing that the opportunities are unlimited, he and Angela are also committed to using their position there to assist others in any way they can. Terrell, Indiana, or Florida at the top of their list as the perfect locations for their future together, they had already begun discussing prospective new residences, he stated enthusiastically. Just look at me now. He said, I never thought I would be doing all of this. A year ago, I was just the person who emptied the garbage and cleaned the tables, but now that he has more freedom and options, he wants to buy a house of his own. He has been living elsewhere. Her apartment is really small and his house is uninhabitable. Their position was just untenable and their status was set to change, so they decided it was time to look for a new residence together. Moreover, it makes logical that he would leave the university to pursue his true interests. Angela, his encouraging wife, thinks he has his own washing and dryer at this house, so this need will shortly be fulfilled. Richard underlined the need of savoring life to the utmost and appreciating every moment by acting in line with your passion. He admitted that Angela, who has been bravely facing a heart issue, and other amazing individuals in his life, for whom he is grateful, inspired him to try out for AGT. Richard could need heart surgery, but Angela urged him to follow his Hollywood aspirations, as she wanted him to be with her in 2024 when she developed health problems. Angela said she wanted him to be at her side no matter what challenges he faced, as this was so gloomy and terrifying that it caused heart agony. Angela always believed he could succeed, hence it was his opportunity to shine. She reassured him that she would attend all future events even though she would not be present for that particular one. She fortunately healed totally and stayed at his side till the very last, proving to him she could be there for him through anything life threw at him. Not too long before the final doctors and the couple's whole circumstances changed when the physicians declared Angela's operation went without a hitch. Angela made sure she never took anything for granted after that day since she knew she would come out strong. She also made a point of living life to the most and achieving her objectives while her husband was by her side. How do you view Richard's path to America's Got Talent? Kindly comment using the area allotted below. We appreciate your time. Shortly, we should see some very interesting movies. Press play on the currently shown video. Keep in mind to hit the bell, like, and subscribe to obtain alerts when fresh videos are uploaded.